Kendar has been killed and his child kidnapped by an evil emperor. 7 gods revive Kendar and give him the opportunity to stop the evil and save his offspring. Cast of the Seven Godsends wears its influences on its sleeve, the most obvious being ghouls and ghosts that's woven throughout the core of its main gameplay. Getting stripped of your armour when you get hit is one of those glaring influences, and personally, I like the visual differences between how much health you're at. Once armoured up to the max, if you collect another power up, then you'll be given the choice of gaining powers from a choice of one of 3 of the 7 gods. A mechanic painfully underused and easily the greatest asset the cast of the Seven Godsends has on offer, mixing up the gameplay with different attack powers depending on which one you pick. Other pickups and power-ups include a variety of weapons, each possessing different feels and unique styles, while none of them ever really feel overpowered. Controls are extremely simple: A to jump, B to attack, making it easy for a quick pick up and play session. And as simple as the controls are, they actually feel slightly off. This is partly due to its unique art style. The animation isn't very fluent and there's definitely some room for improvements. It makes the general feel of movement seem a bit stiff and sometimes over responsive. Visually, Cast of the Seven Godsends isn't great either. Hand-drawn backgrounds and characters leave much to be desired. Where the backgrounds can look pretty decent on their own, the overlaid characters and foregrounds just don't really match up, leaving it feeling lifeless and uninteresting. The soundtrack on the other hand is a little bit more fitting, and while not excelling in any sort of way, it gets the job done to a satisfactory level, while sound effects also slip comfortably in line with the music. Levels are divided into sections with bigger boss fights towards the end and story pauses throughout. While it's easy to differentiate each level thanks to them being radically different in design, the level design themselves, along with the general feel of the controls, is where Cast of the Seven Godsends really falls flat. From bare bones basic platforming to awkwardly placed baddies, there's sections that feel artificially hard, such as the trolling trapdoors, which swing open when you feel you have your footing safe. Bringing old school traits into the mix can sometimes be refreshing, along the hand-holdingly easy platformers of today, but some other traits should definitely be left behind. Possibly the most off-putting part of Cast of the Seven Godsends is the game over and continue screens. These are built like the coin-swallowing arcade cabinets of the 80s and 90s. After so many deaths, you're taken to a continue screen. Where fitting for its retro-inspired roots, it's also a little stale and unnecessary. But the real annoyance is when you get stuck on a level and keep dying. That continue screen will no longer appear and you'll be booted back to the title screen, losing all process along the way. And don't get me wrong, while fun decades ago, it's much more of an annoyance nowadays, and easily Cast of the Seven Godsends' worst feature. All in all, Cast of the Seven Godsends is balancing on a knife edge of being unique and dull at the same time. While bringing some good new mechanics, it's also brought the worst of its retro games that inspired it. Failing to utilise its greatest asset, there's just not enough to keep you coming back for more. From its all-round mediocre story, visuals and sound to some underwhelming level design. While I praise its attempts to bring back the horror medieval platformer, Cast of the Seven Godsends is a love letter that sadly got lost in the post.